Welcome back here on Bethel Media Day. My name is Paul Condry, president of the Regional Radio Sports Network. Glad to be joined here by three talented young ladies, and part of the women's volleyball team here at Bethel University. Team, of course, last year had a pretty spectacular year, going 23-12 overall, including 12-6 in the Crossroads League. And as we introduce everybody from left to right, to my immediate left is Maddy Payne. Next to her is Rachel Vendl, and on the far end over there is Izzy Greene, and we're glad to have all three. We've had a chance to watch all of them kind of grow up over the course of the last handful of years, and we're glad to have them here today. So we're gonna just go from left to right. Maddy, let me start with you. There's always some anxiety, if you will, and maybe a little bit of what's going to go on. I'm not sure about all this when there's a coaching change. So let's talk about that, because that always plays a pivotal role, especially in today's athletics, and you can see it across the landscape of college athletics. So-and-so comes in as a new coach, and the next thing you know, so-and-so's out the door. Some people coming in. So let's talk about some of the things you guys in your own hearts felt when you heard that Katie Weiss decided to leave, and you have a new coach in Robert Frost. So let's talk about it.
So Coach Katie leaving was definitely a shock and hard for a lot of us just to process, unexpected. But I feel like in a lot of my prayers and just conversations with people who are close to me, it was a conversation of like, it's okay, God has their family in South Carolina, and that's his plan for them. And while we're here with our new coach, Coach Frost, it's just different. And different is not bad. It's just different. And so being able to have a flexible attitude and just work through things and be compliant but also helpful and just have open communication is something that will be really helpful for us. And so far it has seemed to be going well.
Well, to piggyback that into the real world, because when you're going to go out and after this season, you guys are out in the real world. You're going to have a different boss here. You may change jobs. You have a different boss here. So this is kind of just like a precursor to what we're going to expect when you're in the real world.
Yep.
I mean, you're not always going to be able to pick who your boss is, and seldom. I mean, the only thing you're really going to, you don't get a chance to pick, and that would be your parents. And let's face it, that's, you're kind of stuck with them in a good way, and I say that. But kind of give us an idea, Rachel, on your side of things, what were some of the anxieties, some of the feelings that you had during this? I'm sure there was some anxiety moments initially. It's like, I don't know, who is Coach Natali going to hire as their next coach? Is it going to be a gal or is it going to be a guy? And guys coach differently than gals. Gals, just kind of so there's a lot of things I know in my own mind's eye, knowing you guys, having had a chance to watch your careers. I was wondering, how were you feeling? So what were you feeling?
Yeah, in the moment, it was super surprising to see Coach Katie and Hannah Weiss both leave just kind of like abruptly, and I was really excited for a new change. We had a great 4 years with Coach Katie. It's great to just kind of a new reset for a fifth year and like all of our last years. So I think it'll be really exciting to see what Coach Frost can bring. And like I didn't have too much anxiety because I trusted Tony Natali to kind of come in here and like bring us something that, I don't know, that can get the job done for us and just have fun.
Izzy, how about you? What's your take on the? What were some of the anxiety moments that you were feeling when you heard that Katie's leaving and you got a new coach come in and Robert comes in, and there's got to be some growing pains in there, getting to know him, some of his hot buttons, some things how he maybe, he may be totally different than Katie in some situations. So what were your thoughts?
Yeah. Right off the bat, finding out that Coach Katie was leaving, like Maddy Payne and Rachel said, it's just like a huge shock. But coming in for preseason, you have your preseason jitters and like your nerves, like, oh, what is this going to be like? What's practice going to be like? Because, we were used to how Coach Katie ran practice. We knew what things were going to look like. And so coming in, we were just like, all right, let's just take it one day, one practice at a time. And Coach Frost has been super good about just being patient with us with there's growing pains and learning pains that comes with like new players and new coaches and just seeing how everyone flows, but it's been really great so far. I
know for you as the married gal on the team, you also have another dynamic that the other gals don't have. And so you've got you have a different type of life than everybody else is. So talk about juggling home life, if you will, as well as being an athlete. You've got this whole COVID thing gave everybody an extra year to play and be together. So there were some really positives that came out of somewhat wasn't some negative.
Yeah.
So talk about how you're managing all the many things that you got on your plate.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are really surprised after I got married that I'm still here. Sometimes I feel that way too, but no, it's been really good. I mean, I go home on weekends. I spend as much time as I can with them, and it's obviously different because there's girls that are having new boyfriends and it's new situations, and I'm like, been there, done that, girl. I'm already here. And so no, but it's been really good and just been really exciting just to be with the girls in the locker room and just have that girl time.
Okay, let's start with you, Maddy, on the question here about chemistry with the current group coming back. Obviously, you got some new kids coming in, but this is a talented group of athletes already assembled that have got great resumes, who have had great success. You've won a ton of killer matches over the course of your careers. Let's talk about how this chemistry and how Robert is stirring the pot there to try to get everybody moving in the right direction or in a better direction, whatever. So tell us what you think of the chemistry of this year's group.
Yeah, so I think that, first of all, Coach Natale, he did a great job. He told us when Coach Katie left that he was going to try his hardest to find someone that would fit well with us, and I think that he stuck true to his word. Coach Frost is really, he's been good for us, and he's different than Coach Katie very much, but not in a bad way. And so I think it gives us a space to be free to still be ourselves and not have to worry about changing anything about ourselves as people, but then also as players. Like, he very much has met us where we are and how we came in, and is just continuing to grow us and develop us from where we're at. And so that has been good. And I think something just as a team that we're really good at is having fun together, and most of that happens off the court, I would say, but then you can see it on the court, how well we get along and how we play together and things like that. And so being able to still have that aspect and inviting our new players into that, into relationship and just fun. We like to have fun. And yeah, that has gone really well so far. And I think everyone is kind of, their shells are coming off just because we've been together so much throughout the preseason that we have good chemistry on the court.
For you personally, I mean, you're an accomplished athlete. You won a state championship in high school. Your brothers have had some success as well. So you come from a really athletic family, and so everybody expects everybody to win. But sometimes you find yourselves in situations. So how much of the high school experience and the successes that you've had there, as well as the previous experiences, do you think is going to help propel you to have a monster senior year? And as you graduate, it's going to help you in success? Because I've always been a firm believer that a great, successful high school athlete and college athlete is going to really tear up the world out there once they get out there. That's been my experience. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that that's a great thought. It's definitely something, one of the things that I have just learned about myself is that I have this tenacity, and it shows on the volleyball court as like competitiveness and like I want to win, but that carries over into other aspects of my life, in school and in relationships. Like, I just don't want to give up because, in theory, I don't like losing in life or in sports, whatever that looks like. And so, yeah, it's just something that I've carried with me.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'd rather, I hate losing more than I like winning, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Rachel, I know that you played in a league that I grew up in, the Duneland Conference. Hobart was in the league when I was there. Obviously, it's a long time ago, back in the Mesozoic era. But when you think about the landscape of playing at a great high school league and how that transferred you to come over to Bethel and playing in, once again, another great league. So you've been in a high competition situation really your whole career. So how has those travels along the way made you a great player?
I mean, you're only as good as your competition. So I think that I've been really blessed to face great players along the way. I've played with and played against girls that have gone like to huge schools, played in some other really great conferences. So, I mean, everyone that I've met along the way has also helped me to be like where I am today.
When you look at the landscape of this team, who do you think on this roster who we're not seeing here today is going to have monster years? Maybe an incoming freshman, maybe someone else on the squad. I think back on last year with Maddy Beaver leaving. She played 6 rotations for the most part, which is what Maddy's going to play this year. And she was a hard gal to get out of the lineup because she was so versatile. Is there someone else that we're not necessarily talking about here today or who is with us that you anticipate is going to have a great year for you guys?
Yeah, I think Haley Beidenbach, she's been a really great player so far. She's an incoming freshman setter, and obviously we have Elisa already. So I think having 2 really great setters while losing Maddy Beaver is going to be a great contribution to the team. She's an all-around great defensive player. I mean, she can do it all, honestly.
When you look at the landscape of the Crossroads League and you see where the pilots are at, you've got all the same names at the top. But is there a team on the schedule that you have to say, listen, we need to dig deep within ourselves because this team has kind of had our numbers? So from Rachel's eyes, who is it?
I honestly think it's every team. We cannot take any team lightly. Anyone can come out and just show out and beat you. So, I mean, you have to go into every single game expecting to play your best and not just take a game easy.
Okay. Izzy, now as the person who, All-American honors early on in your career, and you've continued to play at such a high level. You're one of the best in the nation at your respective positions. Talk about closing out your career, not only with those continued same numbers, but also maybe bring home we saw the men's soccer championship win the Red Banner. Red Banner would look really cool in the Gage Gym, I think.
Yeah, it would.
What do you think? So what is it going to take to do something that's special like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of, honestly, blood, sweat, and tears, and we're all given that in the gym. I mean, girls already have bloody knee pads, and we got them 6 days ago. So, I mean, everybody's going all out. I mean, it's going to take everything we have, but I think each and every one of us want it so badly, and I know that I do, just as this is my last year. It's my last go-around, and I'm just coming into the gym each and every day, no matter how tired or worn out I am, that this is the last time that I will ever do this ever, so just giving it all out every single time.
Talk about, and final question, let's talk about just the faith component and how it has played into your guys' growth individually and collectively as a team. And Maddy, let me start with you in this regard because this institution is pretty special. I've been blessed to be here for a quarter of a century now. I've had a chance to work with Coach Natali for all of the 25 years I've been here. So give us an idea on the culture that the athletics has had, and how the faith component and how your relationship with Christ has grown during your time here.
Mm-hmm. So one thing that I really appreciate about Bethel is the faith aspect of it, and I think that we do a very good job, especially in the athletics department, of modeling that from the top down. So everyone who's in charge, Coach Natali and Coach Hess, they do a very good job of making it prevalent and making it important from an athletic standpoint. And then, excuse me, personally, Coach Katie did a really great job, I feel, of shepherding us and just helping lead us in growth and just taking steps along your faith journey. And it has been super great for me, eye-opening. You're always learning, always seeing new things. And I think Coach Frost is stepping into that role really well. There's been prayers, and he's sharing verses with us. And so it looks a little bit different because he's a guy, and it's not quite the same. But I think that he is fitting very well into that, and that there's still going to be a very large chance for just the young women on our team to grow in their faith and keep walking forward.
Rachel, how much have you grown during the time that you've been here on the Mishawaka campus from a spiritual standpoint?
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to grow a lot. That's also been one of my favorite things about Bethel. One of the biggest takeaways that I've never thought about before coming and playing here is that we can honor God by playing volleyball and other sports for Him, and using our abilities and talents to honor Him. And I just think that's a really great way to think about it. And one of my favorite traditions that we've done as a team is before every game we kind of talk and pray through things, and we make sure that we just kind of establish that we're playing for Him before every single game.
Izzy, how about you? How from a growth standpoint spiritually, have you grown leaps and bounds since you've been here?
Yeah, I've just had tons of people who have invested a lot of time and energy into me, a lot of, not just in this gym, but on this campus, and a lot of friends and leaders and professors and coaches, and that have just really been there with me and prayed with me, and seeing the growth from coming in as a little baby freshman all the way to fifth-year senior, just seeing all these different challenges that I've been through, and just helping me just like guide me through them, and it's just been amazing to walk this journey.
What's been the funniest moment so far in fall camp for you?
Oh gosh.
Does one stand out, or is it a player? Is it something to do with coach? Has there been a funny moment that it's like, oh, that's cutting me up right there?
Oh my goodness. I mean, there's always something every single day in practice where somebody is always cracking up, where it's, we're in a really intense like scrimmage in practice and somebody trips over their own feet and knocks their head on the ground, and everybody's just kind of cracking up, obviously making sure they're okay. But yeah, I mean, I can't think of one specific thing, but we're all just goofy, and we all, like to have fun and take things lighthearted and not be too crazy all the time.
Rachel, what can you tell me about the funniest moment so far this fall camp? Has there been one? Maybe it's this, but maybe it's this
so
moment in time right now.
There's been a lot. I'm trying to think. I won't name drop because I feel like this is kind of not okay. But during preseason, one of the girls just decided to fall asleep in the locker room while Coach Ross was talking. I just thought it was the funniest thing because she didn't realize he was in there yet. But I don't know if I should share
That's
that.
good.
But I just thought it was hilarious.
That person knows who it is right now, right? Maddy, how about you?
Mine is definitely just in specific moments getting to know Coach Frost and him getting to know us. I mentioned earlier that we like to have fun, and that carries into practice. Sometimes we have too much fun and we need to pull it together, but he asks probably 5 or 6 times a day, why are you smiling? Like, what, did I say something funny? What are you doing? And we're like, I don't know. We're just happy to be here. Like, we're excited. But it's always, why are you smiling? Like, I don't know.
There you go. Well, I'm happy to be able to be with you guys for another go-around. We hope you all have a great year. It's been awesome watching you grow up.
Thank you.
Once again, Bethel University Women's Volleyball trying to improve on 23 wins last season. We'll see how they get it done this season. Once again, from the campus of Bethel University in Mishawaka, Indiana, I'm Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network.